Hi, Uche.
I can hear you.
Can I share this link, the same link you shared with me, with everyone, with people? People are asking for it.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm going to share the YouTube link with you now.
Okay. Please. Yeah, please do.
Good morning. Morning. Good morning. Welcome, Vivian. Welcome, Faith. Welcome, Johnny. So we'll start in 1 minute. So hello, good morning, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the first edition of the Pick Yourself Up concert. Wow. Super excited here. I believe everybody can hear me. If you can hear me, can you just put yes, I can in the chat box so I know you're hearing me clearly? Can you hear me clearly? Oh, fantastic. Okay. All right, so very quickly, we would go into our first session today. First of all, I would like to introduce myself to you. My name is Uche Ukuta, and today is my birthday. So it's interesting, and the aim of this program is to find a way to give back value and see how people can literally pick themselves up, because things happen and we go through those things in our closets, and people really do not come out to say, this is happening and this is happening and this is happening. So that's it. My name is Uche Ukuta, and it is nice to have you here. Thank you for joining this Saturday morning. This is the maiden edition of the Pick Yourself Up conference. Eventually, we believe it will be an annual conference on this same day, and it will scale more than this, but this is the initial. So today we have four amazing speakers, and the sessions are cutting across customer experience and personal development. Then there's an entrepreneurship session where the speaker speaks about how she went from being jobless, and then she was self-taught, and then she does great things today. And then there's the last session, which is on mental resilience. You don't want to miss any of these sessions. So you can see it's a build-up. So you don't want to miss any of these sessions. So it speaks to different aspects of life and different fabrics of the society. So our first speaker this morning, quickly, I'll just introduce him. The first speaker this morning is Ubong Nkata. And just a moment. Okay. So our first speaker is Ubong Nkata, who's a customer experience expert. Now, I have had interactions with him, and it's not just a title that you say people just have titles. No, this is him. This is what he lives out, and this is how he interacts with people personally and also in his professional line of work. So Ubong is a proven visionary leader, is a seasoned manager, and is a lifelong learner, experienced in building both customer service teams and customer experience programs. Now, he's a dynamic and proven executive with 16 plus years of experience overseeing the implementation of customer experience processes. He partners with C-suite level executives to deliver large-scale customer experience improvement initiatives that drive long-term growth. And he's done this across different sectors. He's done this in healthcare, he's done this in the payment sector, he's done this in the financial sector. So he's gone across, and the same level of output and the same delivery has remained constant. His areas of expertise are leading customer experience strategy, customer experience operations, that's CX operations, and CS improvement initiatives, operationalizing customer-centric cultures, building world-class customer listening and analytic programs. You know, when you interact with brands, when you interact with different brands, I'm sure everybody had one or two challenges or concerns about interacting and having the brand listen to you. This is something that Ubong does. He builds effective systems for those kind of listening programs, developing experience design programs, that's journey mapping, end to end, how the customer interacts and how the customer experiences the brand, strategic business growth, service modeling, customer analytics, customer success, financial inclusion, and project management. So this is welcoming Ubong Nkata to this session. You're welcome, sir, and you can take over and share your screen, sir. Okay.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Uche. And first and foremost, I will say happy birthday. And it's great to, it's an honor to connect with you this morning. And I would say thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for finding time to join us and to celebrate Uche. It's always very enlightening and encouraging to see everyone trying to give back, you know, at every point in time. And for this, I respect you. So you have my respect, and I will say well done. And thank you for this lovely and heartfelt initiative to impact other people. So ladies and gentlemen, once again, good morning to each and every one of you, wherever you are listening or you're watching from. It's a great privilege, it's my honor for you to have me this morning. And Uche, I don't know, I think it's I am humbled by this opportunity and for the very reason why you are gathering us this morning. So I will just try as much as possible for us to have a conversation around customer experience. There's been a lot of information, there's been a lot of things said about customer experience out there, you know, but the most important thing is I always tell people we need to, it's always a great opportunity to unravel the myth around the entire concept of customer experience. So yes, Uche had said we should talk about customer experience to drive growth, profitability and all that, but I thought I should revise the contents to suit the current terrain, what's going on in the space. A lot of things are going on, the customers' ideas, the customers' expectations, customers are evolving, behaviors are evolving, and we need to be able to ensure that we are able to serve today's customers right and appropriate. That's why I said I had to revise the topic to be understanding and serving the evolving customer profitably. That means you understand the customer, you serve the customer who are evolving, their needs are evolving, their expectations are evolving, and also in the long run, you actually make money, you actually, you're profitable, your business, whatever you do, all right, you actually, profitable about it. So I will start by this. Why do people do what they do? Is I want to put some context first, and also in the light of what Uche is doing, or the essence of this conference, pick yourself up. I want to address you. Let's address ourselves first. Why do we do the things we do? Sometimes we just, instead of us delving and jumping into the entire conversation first, who are we? Whether you like it or not, we are all customers at any point in time. So today you are my customers. Today you are Uche's customers. Now, so why are you on this conference? Because there's a need, there's something you want to learn. Some people are here to learn new things. Some people are here to gain insights, concepts, and ideas. Others are here to have their mindset renewed. Some are here to actually get to just contribute and share. So we are here for a purpose. So that's why we do what we do generally. I'm just saying, for instance, for today. Now, but in life generally, there's a reason why we do things. People do things, right? Whatever makes us tick. What do you do what you do, right? How do we make spur of the moment decisions as well as the important decisions in our lives? Why are we doing the things? What do you consider when you're making a decision? These are the things that we are facing every day. And these are the things that makes us, that are components of making us customers. Now, feelings are the key. Feelings influences our decision, however you feel at any point in time. So right now, if I just feel, there's a way I will feel now, and my expression, my actions, even this conversation, it will affect it. Now, feelings are key. The way you feel is actually what influences your decision. Because if you just feel like now, then you feel thirsty, you want to drink water. If you feel like dressing, there's a way you feel like dressing, and sometimes you're dressing casually, you're dressing sporty, you're dressing so official and corporate, you're going traditional. So that it's a lot of things. Not everything we do is influenced. Is influenced by how we feel. So feelings is key. And that means we need to understand at every point in time that why people make decisions they make, why customers are coming, how we interact, even how you interact with your customers, it is dependent on how you feel. Now, the question is going to be, are you in charge of your feelings? It's good to know that feelings builds habits. Good feelings build a win-win relationship. If you feel good, you will serve right. If your customers feel good, they will come back for more transaction. They will recommend you. So just sharing to lay the foundation that it starts with all of us. First and foremost, it starts with you and I. And at this point in time, I just want to say that why do people do what they do? Why do people really want is? What do they really want? Number one, help, support, consideration, and respect. Everyone wants to be treated in a special way with compassion and dignity, even you and I. We want to be recognized. We want to feel respected at any point in time. We want to be sure that someone has treated us specially. Now, this morning, before I continue, I want us at this point in time, for those of us that are online here or those that are watching on YouTube, wherever you are, can we make Uche feel special? Just for 2 minutes. Let's make Uche feel special. Uche, sorry, I'm putting you on the spot, but we want to make Uche feel special, and we just see how you're going to feel about it and how Uche is going to feel. He's going to tell us after we do this. So every one of us, our first initial to our names, let's say my name is Ubong, that means the first letter to my name is U. Wherever you are, I want you to participate right now. Go to the chat room, or the message room, and just use your first initial, right? And write a word. And so you're going to write 2 words. The first word is you're going to use to describe Uche. So like mine is saying you. So I'm going to say, I'll start out by saying unique Uche. So if your name is A, use for a good word, from the that start with A, and then that word and Uche. I want us to just make Uche feel special this morning. I'm going to the chat room right now to see what people are saying. Someone has started here, fantabulous Uche, enriched Uche, which I don't know if you're feeling it. People are using their first initial, right, to actually, I know how you're feeling right now. You should be feeling special. You're adding value to someone's life. I'm waiting. I've seen enriched Uche. Okay. I'm still looking. Someone says resilient Uche. You could imagine people are using their first initial of their name to describe, and I just tell me how you're feeling. Just imagine how you're feeling to make Uche feel good. This is quite encouraging this morning. I'll just have the next 1 minute more. Someone says inspirational Uche. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So you could see how you're making, I don't know how Uche is feeling right now. So you can see you are taking time, right, to actually think about it. You have taken time to consider what you should say to make Uche feel special. And I can imagine if other people are doing this to you, how would you feel? Now, Uche, just for a second, you've seen the few things that have been written about you. What do you feel? How do you feel this morning? Someone says Titan Uche, inspiring Uche, awesome.
Like, I'm just smiling. Wow. Like, wow.
So now the question is going to be, can you see how we have intentionally, right, taken out time just for a few minutes to treat Uche, to make Uche feel special? Now, the question, that same thing is going to be, how often are you made to feel so by an organization that serves you? How often are you also intentional to making your customers feel such? That is just a typical example. Now, hello, confirm you can still hear me? Hello? All right, so we were talking about each person, is special, so we should make them and treat them specially. Now, the next thing is customers buy emotionally and justify logically. So whatever we do, now tell me the whole truth. If we were offering Uche a service this morning, how would he feel? The way he has been made to feel this morning will determine how he's going to buy our service. Now, Uche knows that whenever he is in a settings like this, people will make him feel special. That is how we buy things. We buy things emotionally and justify logically. Every customer today, you just feel like walking into a shop and you're seeing something that makes you feel good. Oh, I love this shirt. Sometimes you just buy it and by the way, why did I spend that money to buy this shirt? It's just how it made you feel, how you felt at that point in time. So that means we need to be considerate. We need to be intentional about understanding how people feel and then knowing what makes them happy. Now, so in this conversation this morning, I'm just taking you slowly to understand and unravel today's customer. We remember, just before we go into the core of the conversation, we make decisions based on feelings. Dealing with people is a special part of our lives. At every point in time, you need to understand that, you need to remember that dealing with people. So your customers, whether they are virtual, whether they are physical, you see them physically, or whether they're business to business, right? Dealing with people, at the end of the day, whatever you're doing is impacting someone's life. Is making someone to either increase his own business, or someone is learning new things, or is improving someone's health, well-being, and welfare. Now, or creating wealth for other people. The way we provide help and support to others in our dealings with them will influence their feelings. How we provide the help, the process of providing the help. Now, people dislike poor service because it makes us feel unimportant. That's just it. That's just the simple truth. When you say, I don't like that service because how they made you feel, people will notice our attitudes. The way, whoever you're being served, the way you did it. You could see this morning, for you to intentionally just think about it, take the first letter of your name and think of a word to use to describe Uche, that you've put some thought into it. You're intentional about it. So what I will say this morning is, beloved, feel good about yourself. You're a very special person, because when you feel good about yourself, you will also do the same thing to other people, and also be intentional, all right, and making other people feel special. Now, quickly, we've done something for Uche. Let's assess ourselves. Just first question is, how do you think your coworkers will describe you? What are the 4 words they might choose? This is just for you. If you want to type it out there, you can type, but just wherever you are or in your phone, you can just ask yourself, if people are thinking about me, right? My coworkers, my colleagues, my members of my team, if you're a supervisor, right? Or if you're a team member, how would they describe you? What are the 4 words they might use? Those 4 words, will it be interesting? Will it be encouraging? Will it be inspiring? Will it be the kind of words we've used to describe Uche this morning? Next, I will say, we all take pride in certain personal qualities. How do you think your family or close friends will describe you? What are the 4 words they might choose? These are your friends now. We've come from your colleagues. Now, how would your friends and your family members, what are the 4 words? I believe when you take some time and look at this, you will see other areas you need to improve and say, oh, do I even have special? What are my qualities? What are the attributes about me that people would use in describing me? And the last but not the least, now list 4 qualities you possess that you think, all right, or you take the most pride in. If you want to list out the 4 qualities that you think you have, and that you say, okay, whenever I'm thinking about this is me, you are proud about it, you feel good about it with yourself. So just do this assignment. First and foremost, what 4 words would your colleagues use in describing you? What 4 words would your family members and your friends use in describing you? Now, and then what 4 qualities, the 4 qualities that you have that makes you proud about yourself, that you feel good about yourself. And I think when you do that, I think it will help somehow to make you just feel good, and also see what you can do for improvement, and also see how you could make other people feel good about it and you feel good yourself. Now, let's delve into the conversation right about now. The new customer, what's about the new customer? We're all aware of what happened in 2020. 2020, we all woke up feeling excited. It's going to be a great year, but also we had plans and all that. And then boom, COVID hits. It changed the entire dynamics of business. It changed our behaviors. It changed our thought patterns. Many people at the beginning of the year, some people had done shoppings right for the year. They're getting set their wardrobes for their work, and bam, for almost a whole year, they didn't go to work. They did not wear those clothes. And most people, up till now, they've not had the opportunity of wearing some clothes in their wardrobes. It actually changed the dynamic of work. It didn't check people's expectations, people's approach to life generally. Customers were so it changed the way you and I were doing things. And I will just use a few words, a few explanations just to explain. There are much more. You yourself, you will know. You can also contribute alongside as you're having this conversation. Now, number 1, there is only one boss, the customer. And he can fire anybody in the company from the chairman on down simply by spending his money somewhere else. That's according to Sam Walton, the founder of Walmart. It's very clear. You and I, today that, take a simple example. If you're a gentleman here in the room or wherever you're watching from, if you actually barb your hair, go to the salon, all right, to barb your hair once in a week or once in a month, and then you had an issue with that barber, and then next month you don't go there, you've taken your money elsewhere. That means that customer, that particular barbering service, that salon, they have lost one customer. They have lost the revenue they would have made from you. Likewise, the ladies, you know what you do, your hair, where you mean, your manicures and pedicures and all the things you do. Just imagine that they did something to your hair, you didn't like it, and the next time you think of making your hair, you're not going there. Those people, they have lost one customer and they have lost one revenue, one source of revenue for the year. For instance, let's say now that you ladies, you do your hair twice in a month. Let me just use that. And then you spend about 10,000. Sorry, this is not inclusive of the hats you people put on now. Sorry, I call it hats, and then okay, even maintaining the wig and all those stuff. Let's say you spend on an average, I'm just saying 10,000. This is not to undermine how much you guys spent on your hair. I know your hair is your crown, but you can imagine that. So if you do it twice in a month, that means 20,000. And so the people in the salon, that particular salon you go to, they are sure of 240,000 revenue just from you. Now, you can imagine how many customers are going to do that. So if they are intentional about their service, they will know that once maybe, let's say, a Lizzie or a Rosaline or a Faith, right, leaves, those stop coming here, I have lost 240,000. I love to break it down like that. So your one customer, so that one customer, so everybody here, whatever you're doing, do not think, or maybe you have hundreds of customers. No, always ensure that you are able to treat one of those, all those customers feel, they're being treated specially. Now, so the new customer, number one, they look and behave differently. They spend less. Today's customers, they spend less. They are intentional about what they want to spend on. Sometimes if I made up their mind, they write a list of what they want to do. When they think through about it, what's the relevance of this? Or what value would it add to me? Apart from making me feel good, what other things? People have really been intentional and thinking less about how they spend. The next one is they are increasingly digital. They still look differently and behave differently. So today you could imagine, I know very well that my over 70 years old mom, last year she was not on WhatsApp. No. Okay, yeah. But recently, because of where everybody are and they want to interact, when the mom is on WhatsApp now, she even calls you, she even sends messages, so you could imagine that everybody is increasingly becoming digital. We all know in Nigeria what happened in the last 3 months. No, not even 3 months, right from December. That every transactions, we're trying to do every transactions on our mobile. Everybody's doing things on mobile now. Businesses, you can see WhatsApp business, everybody's doing is selling online. Most of us today, we really walk into shops, really go into that boutique. Everything we're doing, we are getting conversations, we're reviewing items on online, Instagram and all that. This is where this is the new normal. And so we need to understand this. Now, the third one is they display unfamiliar patterns of demand. So today you will see a customer that came in and asked you for this. Tomorrow they ask you, even you and I, you'll be like, oh, okay, I drink this type of thing. Maybe it's for some, because of your interaction, the conversations, because of knowledge, people have started doing things differently. So today a customer might come in and say, let's say, for example, that you're doing smoothie or whatever business you're doing, and the customer comes and demands something different. It's because the customer is constantly being informed, being educated, all right, trying to know what is the best. So they are going to display unfamiliar patterns of demands. You need to understand, not that they are just inconsiderate. No, it's because of what is going on around them. It's what of the environment, it's what of the impacts. Everything combined together will make them not just be the same customer. So that means you have to be prepared to do things differently for the customer. Now, also to an extent, we still have specific, social distancing around this, right? They're driven by people are just, they have specific needs. Their needs are actually peculiar and unique. Some people up till today are still mindful of walking into a crowd or being around a place that is too crowded. Some of them want to, you could see now people are mindful, not that they don't want to interact, but what happened had actually influenced how they do things. I said it earlier on. Most of us, when last did you go into a shop to buy something, to buy certain things? There's some certain things these days that you don't even buy, you're ordering them. So you are now distancing yourself. So if you're not careful, if you don't understand this as a business, you will think that you would still treat your customer the same way you treated in 2019. No way. Even the way you treated your customer yesterday, today you should find out to know what are the peculiarities, the expectations, the needs, the demands of that customer. How does that customer wants to be served? It's very important. You need to seek to understand your customers. Now, so we've talked about this, right? Today's customers, they look and behave differently. Now let's talk about what drives their decisions. And I will look at it in this form, right? Me, my life, and my wallet. What drives your customers' decisions? And this is where I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to actually align it with the business impact of what drives their business decisions. Hello, please confirm you're still with me. If you are, can you just write a message in the chat and says, yes, I'm with you, and confirm that you can hear me loud and clear. Hello, hello. Can you talk about? Oh, yes. Okay. Precious says I'm with you. Thank you, Precious. Now, the first one is my motivation. What motivates today's customers? Are those things that drive their behavior and expectations. Now, you want to take a look at that very well. Okay. Let's see it this way. Now, what are those characteristics that drive the behavior and expectations? My motivation, what motivates me? What makes me do the things that I'm doing? Okay. It's very important for you to understand it as a business. What drives your customers, right? So this is what they're looking for. Make it easy, right? Know me, value me. These are the things that I want you to do. Find ways to make it easy for me to engage with you as a business. Make the tasks I don't care about easier to execute. Understand me, help me figure out if I am choosing the right product or service for my needs. They want you to be involved in their decision-making process. Show that you know them, all right? Don't ask them to re-enter information they have already provided. So for me, that's for example, you keep asking them the same thing. You need to show that you know the customer. Also make them feel valued, right? Make them feel that you care about keeping their business, that you're interested in them bringing their business to coming to be served by you. Think about what you're doing that may signal that you don't value them. As a business, you have to consistently think about it. You're going to say, how am I going to do that? Right? That's where your voice of the customer program runs in your customer insight. You intentionally seek to understand your customers, not just thinking of what you want. That's what Apple does. You think that they don't know. That's your data. They understand how they're mining that they're fine-tuning products. A lot of business today are finding products. For example, Netflix. They're using what you watch to actually recommend you. They've built algorithm to be able to get you to actually share with you, show you the kind of movies you should be watching across boards. Amazon, when you're shopping, you've bought something today. Over time, they begin to show you some things. They even begin to recommend things that people in your age or people in your demography are looking based on your previous history and what and your transactions. So you need to be able to know that what drives customers' behavior expectations is make things easy for them. Show that you know them, personalize it, and also value them. How you act and how you deal with them, they must feel valued. Now, what is the business impact for this? Knowing what customers really want or value in an experience and what setting the benchmark can help eliminate wasted effort and focus on the ones that makes a difference. When you know what they value, what they really value, you will prioritize. You will know exactly what to focus on as a business. You will know what to focus on as a department, as a team. You know exactly what you want to do. What you will not involve in activities that will not add value to the customer. Now, the next thing is our best experience have become our expectations. Simple. Our best experiences. So what you had, the best experience you had yesterday has become the benchmark for the next experience that you're looking out for. So let's say you make the customer feel good today. That is the list of expectations the customer will have about your services and your business. Now, the next one is my attention. Ways we direct our attention and focus. What is the customers focusing on? What are they looking at today? Engage with customers in things they prioritize as individuals. You need to actually ensure that your engagement with them, you have to be intentional about your customers' engagement. Your messaging, how you interact with them, the information you're passing to them, right, must make sure that it focuses on what they need. It also addresses their attention and their focus. You have to be mindful about that. Don't just throw messages out to your customers. Don't just do things, right? Knowing how to get customers' attention can help target investment at the moments that matter, maximizing your return on investment. Knowing how to get your customers' attention. So you need to know me, for instance, what gets my attention, what information gets my attention. I've talked about a typical example like the Netflix, even banks today. We are doing transactions, customers are doing transactions. Do you see what they're buying? What are they spending their money for? Are you pushing such information around to them? So for instance, someone spends money, let's say a typical example in the banking space, you could see that the transactions are around food, restaurants and all that. There could be maybe a food fair somewhere that you could recommend and says, oh, do you know this or do you know this? You can make the script, because when you recommend to the customer feels good that you've personalized, you focus on what they prioritize. And in the long run, they're still going to use your card as a bank to spend. So they are also why you're creating avenues for you to cross-sell and to upsell your services. Now, the next one is my connection. Today, how we connect to our devices, information, and each other. That's what we're talking about here. So how is the customer connected? Where is she connected to? How is he connecting? What level are they connecting? You need to understand that. You need to understand it because in where these customers are connecting, their data. So integrate data in the context of a customer's connection. You're feeding them information based on how they connect. You need to get the data out of it. Don't just say, oh, my customers are online. Even if you're online, if you're on social media, the interactions they're having, how are they connected? How would they want to be, connected? How would they want to be served? Understand their level and their extent of their connection. Don't assume, don't think everybody does the same thing. So you have to be intentional to segment your customer. You need to know them. So your business, what are the makeup of your business? Have you segmented them? Have you been able to describe who they are? That's your customer's personnel. You need to understand the personalities of your customers and put them in the right perspective. Now, when you do this, when you look at how your customers connect, right, in their devices, the information and to each other. So even in my social group, even in my network, how do I communicate with my peers? You need to understand how we do things. And this is out of research. Today, you don't just assume things. You have to serve your customers by researching day by day, and studying the data, studying the transaction dynamics to know what they want and how they want it. And when you do this, you're going to get smarter about customers through their connections. And you'll want to your data, you're going to use it in terms of context. You're not just assuming, right? And you generate actionable insights, right, for product development, for process optimization, for continuous improvement, even for changing a product, for innovation. You have to be able to understand, know where they connect, how they connect the data. From there, you will even know where to look for, what to look out for. It is very important. As simple as knowing everyone has a routine, whether you like it or not. Ladies, you know that if there's a particular day or time, most often you go to make your hair. Sorry, I'm using that. There's a particular time, there's a particular salon you go to. Now, if I own a salon today, I will notice that, Mrs. A comes to make her hair by this time. Even if she's not coming, I can put a call to her and say, Mrs. A, how are you today? How was your week? You're fine, all right. I just wanted to check in if you're coming to make your hair, all right, and that your 4 o'clock slot is open. Oh, I feel good. Okay, I'm going to come, because you've understudied the patterns that I've displayed over time. Now, I'll feel that you've personalized so you could even say, oh, guys, I'm free for 4 o'clock because Mrs. A might likely stop by today to make her hair. So if the customer walks in and sees the place is crowded and says, no, ma, don't worry, your time slot has already been sorted and you're free and you're okay to do this. That is your understanding and using the data you have, how she connects with your business, right, to make sure that you serve the customer. And the next one is my watch. Now, what are they looking at? How we balance the constraint of time and how that changes lives, across events. So all of us today, at certain ages, at certain times of our lives, we are going to be mindful of certain things. The things you did yesterday, depending on the time frame of your life, right? Time in terms of age, times in terms of the things, your goals, your actualization of things, your objectives, even the season, even the environment, right? So you have to take this into consideration when you're dealing with your customers. Identify the impact and opportunities of different life events. Every of your customers, you need to understand what are the opportunities, where are they in their life event, in their life span. What do they want? What timing is it for them? Some people is a time to invest more. Some people is a time for them to build new relationships. Sometimes it is in finally time for them to take more. They want to actually concentrate more on their health. They're talking about the building wealth, they're building relationships, doing things, studying, empowering themselves. Some of them, they're trying to expand their portfolios. You need to understand the times and the timing of what time are there, what are their priorities. And when you do this, right, when you identify the pockets, all right, before life events yields new opportunities to build customer loyalty and stickiness. Being intentional to identify the pockets, all right, of the life events will enable you to identify the opportunities that are around there. So for instance, now all of a sudden, a lot of people that know me before now, maybe sometimes I could be carrying a low cut. And recently I'm carrying Afro. Now my barber should be able to know that something has changed, right? So what would I want? So when I'm going to make, so there are certain things. So are you throwing products to me that I need to use to maintain my hair? Or are you need to build my hair to make sure I grow it very well and enrich it? So you have to understand that, okay, is it a time that I want to, instead of doing so many, I'm doing this, I'm diverting. You can even make recommendation, even if I'm not buying from you. That's what we lose. Sometimes is, I may have a business that knows who can serve me. Oh, Bong, I think you're trying to do this. Have you considered this? I'll refer this. Let me tell you, if you as my student that serves me, or even if that serves me, recommends another product to me that is valuable to me, I will stick with you because I know you're not only interested in making in selling to me alone, you're also interested in my well-being, my welfare, and my personal growth. It's as simple as that. Now, my wallets. How we adjust our share of wallet across life events. We've talked about life events, where we are. And the most important thing now is going to be how we adjust our wallets. Some people now have adjusted their wallets in terms of they prioritize it for health, for wealth building, all right, or for their health. their well-being. So you need to understand that how have I apportioned my wallet? What am I spending on? What is the propensity for me to spend on certain things? You need to identify that. Once you do that, it will enable you to understand the customers and to know how to serve them. How does it happen? Understand interrelationships and the trade-offs between all the factors to calculate the spend mix. Just seek to understand the relationship. Why am I doing certain things? Why am I doing the things I'm doing? If you really sit down and understand, seek to understand your customers, you will get to do this. Now, what's the business impact for this? Understanding the trade-offs customers make between time and money can identify the best future customers and expectations. Over time in your business, I bet you that sometimes some customers are going to transit. They have come to that end of them using your service. So at that point in time, it's either you're going to upgrade, upscale, or upsell, or you're going to refer them and be satisfied that they're going to leave and don't feel bad that they're going to leave you. So that means as a business, you need to keep optimizing, you need to keep innovating, you need to keep ideating, you need to keep understanding, because when you understudy what your customers want and how they want it, you will grow with them. They want to show that I wake up today and I want to do things differently. That's why you go into shop that they're putting up new products day by day because they understand, okay, they need this. Even the age limit, right? The personas, the millennials, the Gen Zs, you're doing things to suit their expectations and their timing and their wallet and all that. So I believe that if we actually are mindful about this, we'll be able to serve today's customers right. Now, very quickly, when you've talked about all this, I just like to throw it out there for you to understand and to see. So, how do I now deliver this excellence in CX? What is CX as a matter of fact? How do I do this? Now, as you all know, I didn't want to, because I believe we have all done it before. Customer experience is not the same as customer service. There is that myth around it. Some people are doing glorified customer service instead of customer experience. Now, I'm going to take you through around some things, but first and foremost, when you talk about customer experience, there are 6 pillars as defined by KPMG and Nunwood, which is personalization, integrity, expectations, resolution, time and effort, and empathy. I will just run through this very, 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 very quickly, right? Because I want to wrap up with the customer journey and what customer experience, at the end of the day, right? Personalization means using individualized attention to drive an emotional connection. You need to connect with me personally. I've talked about this in the course of the conversation earlier on. You need to personalize your interactions. Those are the pillars that drives customer experience today. Now, integrity, you have to be trustworthy, and whatever you're doing, you're engendering trust, right? You have to keep the customer informed, be competent, show that you know exactly what you want. And also, whatever you are acting must be in the interest of the customer. Remember that we need to make the customers feel good. The same way we made Uche feel good earlier, felt good earlier on. Now, expectations, you have to manage, you have to meet, you have to exceed. That means you need to know what are the expectations today. I've talked about customer expectations today. That means you have to set the expectations accurately. You need to provide information openly and honestly. You need to make sure that you don't only meet, but you have to exceed your expectations. Guide them through the process, show them what to do. The next one is resolution. You have to make sure that there's no way sometimes things will go the wrong way. Sometimes things will go south, but whenever it does, be intentional of using that as an opportunity, right, to turn that into a good experience, into a great one. Use opportunities to actually gain your customers' trust. They know, every one of us knows sometimes we just fail at things. Sometimes we are not able to meet up. But let the customer know that, okay, in as much as this thing had happened, I'm intentional to fix it. I have fixed it and I've learned from it. And because I've learned from it, I'm going to do something new and differently the next time. Now, the next one is time and effort. Customers are time poor and increasingly are looking for instant gratification. You and I, the same thing. We don't want to spend much time on something. We want to clap, and get it done. So make sure that the time your customers invest with you, it's pleasurable, right? Maximize it, oh God Almighty Lord, and ensure that no longer than 2 minutes wait time for them. Whenever they're doing anything, you should not be more than, just make sure that you define your SLAs. How long should this thing be served? What do they want? The customer wants to be served in 1 minute. Can I do it in 50 seconds? So you have to define your SLAs, you have to define your service quality indicators. How are we going to be guided by the things we do? A customer walks into my shop, and how long should the customer spend before it gets whatever they need? They're walking into the shelf, or I'm doing these services, I'm responding to them on something, they've contacted me on my website or via the channels. What is the timeline for me to respond and to interact, to give them feedback? You need to orchestrate your business in that way, right? And empathy, achieving understanding of the customer circumstances to drive deep rapport. You need to understand, put yourself in their shoes, right? Invest time to listen to them, show that you care, right? Take ownership of their issues, own it, and also treat them as if they're number one priority, irrespective of the card, irrespective of how much they're bringing. Let them feel good, because that one customer can recommend you to who will bring a larger chunk of your revenue. Now, I was talking about customer journey, so today, So in all this, let me just once again remind us what customer experience is about. Customer experience is the sum total of the customer's interaction with your business. Is how the customer's perception when the customer interacts with every aspect of your business. So now, while service is what happens at one touch point. So let's take for example, a typical example, a salon. Permit me to use that because it's common to all of us. At the salon, where the salon is positioned, information about the salon, getting to know this. I'm going there for the first time, how I got there, how I was able to identify the place. I walked into it, the ambience of the place, how I felt, so God. And also then how I was being served, how my hair was barbed, the attention given to it. All this. So when I'm done, when you ask me, oh, Ubong, what do you think about salon A? The sum total of everything that I went through, all the touch points, all the interactions I had by getting there, even by identifying the location, by walking into the place, how I felt when I entered the place, how neat and tidy the place was, the way the person was serving, the interaction by the person is the experience I've had. Now, service is what happens when I was being barbed. At that point of someone barbing my head, that is the service. How was it? That is customer service. Now, customer service happens at touch point. Customer experience is the sum total of what happens, how the customer feels after going through your respective service touch points. Now you could say, I only have one service touch point. No, online. How are your channels? Those the channels of interaction, your website, those are your service touch points, your staff, your security, how your security men greeted or received me when I came in, how the door was. So was the doors hard for me to walk in if you're having a physical location? Your interactions with me, how you interact with me back online, those things are your touch point. Whenever you're interacting with a customer or whatever the customer is interacting with, whether with tangible or intangible touch points, how do they feel? The sum total of all that. So the customer experience has to do with the totality of the business. Service has to do with the respective touch point. So I will tell you, optimize services across all the touch points and the customer will have a good experience. So this is just to show you the dynamics about the customer journey. Now, for a customer to relate with any customer, it has to discover. So in your business, how easy is it for you to be discovered? Now, when the customer has discovered you, they will pick interest. Once they've discovered you, right, will they be interested in getting to know more about you? What interest are they going to mark about you? What are they going to do research? Then it's going to be the research. Now they're going to search about to make findings, look for reviews, compare and contrast and all that. The next thing is going to be inquiry. Now they will seek to inquire from other people. Oh, would you know about this? How these people serve? And then they're going to purchase it. From purchasing, the next thing is going to be they're going to use the products. And then after buying the products, they will check other accessories. For instance, now today, a lot of people that are using Apple will tell you that I want to buy a MacBook and I want to buy an iPhone, and then I want to buy an AirPod, and then some of them will say they want to buy Apple Watch. They must have started with the MacBook. Now they're buying all that. So that's, for example, that's what Apple does. So they looked at every aspect of the customer. But before you get into this, I'm talking about accessories now, even though I mentioned other aspect, right, that we have talked about earlier on. Now the customer will have an issue. The customer will have a problem. Whenever the problem happens, support, that's part of your customer journey. And then the customer will have to recommend you. The question is going to be, once the customer has dealt with you, has had interactions with you, will they recommend you? It always has to end with repeat business. I keep saying that customer retention is the new acquisition. You have to retain your customer, the existing customers. They're the ones that are going to bring in more sales. And because you're going to increase what I call the customer lifetime value, each customer brings a value to your business. You need to know that. What value does Ubong, what value does Uche brings to my business, whatever it is? How much do I make from him? If Uche leaves my business today, am I going to lose that revenue? You have to take it to the numbers and bring the numbers. You know how to treat Uche. You need how to, do things with Uche. You need to gather information, data, resolution, issue, all that we talked about earlier on. Now, pillars of excellence, outcomes, right? We are rounding this up. Now, I've talked about what today's customers want, what is driving their decisions and all that. We've talked about the 6 pillars of customer experience. Now, when all these things are in place, what will happen is improve customer advocacy. It will increase loyalty. And whenever customers are loyal, you will increase your customer lifetime value. That means you're going to increase the more I'm going to do, buy things with you. I'm going to do business with you, and you're going to, make more money. Your revenue is going to be steady and increased. And also by recommendations, more people are coming in. And then that you should look at, that's you're creating shareholder value. Now, they're resolving the unique issues that have risen quickly and systematically ensuring expectations are accurately set, making life easy for customers, and ensuring their circumstances shape their experiences and engaging them empathically is very vital for you to drive profits. Because when you do all this, you're going to take into consideration all your business objectives and imperatives. Finally, when you talk about customer experience, they are formed. These are I want to wrap it up with this. I'll talk about it as the 3 E's: effectiveness, ease, and emotions. Now, customers, some of us are effective. That means you're functional. Your business, everything is in place. I mean, you walk in, bump up, everything in order. Now it is easy for the customer to use. You could see easy. Customers get value from the experience without difficulty. You know, the first one is they get value from the experience. The second one is they get value from it without difficulty. Now, the last one, which drives the experience, is the bigger one, which drives loyalty. The first two drive satisfaction. Now, the other one, you don't see it. They don't see it. And that's just like typical a picture of an iceberg. You only see a tip of it, but below is the main thing. So what really drives this customer loyalty? What drives them is how they feel, how you made them feel. So don't let this picture be on your mind at every point in time. Oh, my service process, that we are effective. It's easy for them to use, but how do we make the customer feel at the end of them interacting with our business? It is very important. That is what is going to drive loyalty. That is what is going to drive revenue, because the more the customer does business with you, the customer lifetime value, because every customer brings a value, brings something to the table. And the revenue they're bringing, if there is a return on that revenue, they consistently come. They're going to refer other people. They're bringing more people. So more revenues are coming in. And by the time you do your cost of service and then you subtract everything, your profit. So what are you going to do today? Are you going to only dwell more on making your service functional and easy, or you're going to be intentional about making your customers feel good, which is the emotions we talked about earlier on? That answer resides between you and your business objectives. Ladies and gentlemen, it takes months to find a customer, seconds to lose one. Understand and serve them right. According to this great man, right, Steve Jobs, he says, get closer than ever to your customers. So close that you tell them what they need well before they realize it themselves. You have to stay close to them. You have to understand them. You have to seek to know that's what Apple is doing. They know exactly, because of your interactions, that they've understood the data about your transactions. That's why they're able to recommend things. They're able to come up with products every other year, you know. And I will say this finally, providing excellent customer experience is the need of the hour. Putting the customer's needs at the center of your business is the way to go. I wish all of us profitable business experiences, but you have to be intentional. You have to seek to make them feel good, and then you have to also intentionally feel good about it yourself, make them feel good, and listen to them so that you can understand what they need, and then begin to optimize, right, innovate, and also prioritize and ensure that you drive your business growth. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
Wow. This is the masterclass. This was a masterclass. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for this session. Wow. Can you just share your comments in the chat room? Tell me what you've written down. I've written down and like, thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. So I'll just start out with 2 questions. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay, so the first question I want to ask is, now this is speaking to SMEs and small businesses. So how these businesses rely a lot on outsourced services, meaning delivery guys, maybe production and those things. They don't have the capacity to run those services themselves. So the question is, how can they build effective and customer-centric SLAs managing these outsourced services? Can you just speak to that?
Now, first and foremost is, yes, there are some things that you cannot deliver, or you will not be able, you don't have the capacity at some point, you have to outsource. Right. Now, for every business, there's what you have to make sure that every business has their own objectives, their visions, their core values. Now, when you're looking out for something, sometimes we always want to go cheap. That's number one. And that's why, so for every service you're dealing with, you know the commitment you've made to your customers. Now, does your value align with the values of the outsourcing company? If the outsourcing company do not value time, do not value integrity, and when do not have some core values, right, that you are upholding. So somewhat we do, we just hear someone can deliver something, but they will have done their research. Have you aligned your core values? What is their culture? Because they are serving you as a customer. You feel good when you ordinarily allow them to serve you. So we need to spend time to make sure that we align our outsourcing, our business interactions with those that share the same core values and the same objective with us. So for example, I had an experience and it's so sad. Well, someone made an order for me, right? Someone placed an order. I didn't know. Someone says, "Goodbye, I'm ordering something for you." And she placed it in one of the revving restaurants today in Nigeria. That's where she placed the order from one of the revving restaurants in Nigeria. And when she placed that order, she said they're going to deliver it to your office. And what they were meant to deliver, it had to be well packaged so that it will not spill. Okay, the food shouldn't have been, so. And I was looking forward to, because I'm just getting from the, you could imagine receiving food from the at the office, and then putting into your car and driving right for a distance, Lagos in traffic and all that stuff. But I believe that the delivery company, right, they did, when the packaging was not well done, or possibly it was well done, but the person delivering it was not intentional about that particular, knowing the content that he or she was carrying. Now, by the time the item was delivered, you could imagine I had to look for things, tissue, everything, even clean. He was the way he came, the way he was, the things was dripping. I almost told him, no, take it back. So the question is going to be, you have to understand, are they capable to deliver? If they're not, look out for more, and then have also you sign an SLA undertaking with them that is binding. So first and foremost, your core values must align. Number two, your SLA with them must be specific and be able, at any point in time, be able to call for damages. That's what businesses don't do today. Get your laws, make sure you have, if they're even to also like to understand that you have a clearly defined contract. And make sure this contract is binding, because you are using them to serve your customers. You are not the end user of that service. They are facilitating your business. So what we don't do is we don't call them back. We don't actually, call up the contract, the terms of the contract. That's why people are able to do the things they're doing. So number one, ensure that your core values align. Ensure that they will be able, across all fronts, right, to help you meet your promise, keep to your promise to your customers. Don't just jump and say, okay, this person is the one handling my delivery services. No, this one is the one doing this. You have to check, are they capable? Are they able to do it? So you have to be intentional about that. It's just spending time to understand who understands you, who aligns with you, because they're also intentional. They want to make sure that, and also we that are being served, what is our relationship with them? Do you pay on time? Right? Are you also meeting your own obligation? Everybody must meet their respective obligations. So sometimes they're telling us because they know that you're not going to meet your own obligation. I had an incident this week also that someone told me, no, they're putting a hold because some things are not being done. There could be some hitches along the line, but have you reached out to say, oh, this understanding effective communication and to make sure before you get into outsource, how is their engagement line? So have they defined proper engagement when things go wrong, right? What are they going to do? For example, if Amazon tells you they're going to deliver something between a certain hour of time, they will deliver within those times in some places. Tell you, we'll get back to you on this. So what is their SLA? How are they adhering to their internal processes? You have to do that research before you actually get into contract with them. I hope I've been able to answer that.
Yes. I think it starts with value. First of all, you must align on your values. Then going out of the way to find out they deliver. And then you also, who enter the contract, you keep your own end of the bargain. If they do something, I should keep up my own effective. I honestly top notch. John, then another question I want to ask is speaking to customer journey. And also I would speak to businesses too. Most times some of these businesses they're discovering the process as it's happening. So I put up, I'm selling this, or I start selling this as it's evolving, then I'm responding to the needs. So how can the concept of journey mapping be used in this kind of context where it's a dynamic business, and they are not really solid feedback lines per se, like you have in.
So I tell every business, when you start, in as much as you're going to serve people, you're not serving yourself. There is a journey involved, and there's also, you have to some little level of capacity that you have, and you leverage on it. So let's take a typical example, a business that is. Okay, give me a typical example, a business. Let me use that as and just to define a roadmap or define the customer journey. Because
okay, let's say, or an online jewelry shop, somebody who does retails jewelries, or
okay. Now online retail means okay,
yeah,
okay. I want to start doing that. Now, first and foremost, how do they contact me? Are they aware of what I'm doing? Right? Is it possible for me to be discovered? Someone says, oh, Uche does is when they go online, is it even clear enough? Some people put their business names that are, that are not clear. So that clarity, it has to be there. So the customer journey is not about the entire, so you have to know, okay, how can I be discovered? When the customer have discovered me, what the process of them buying from me and getting support from me, will it be easy? Have I made it easy for them? Don't sit down and think, okay, I'm fine. Step out of your processes and look at your process. Would you buy from yourself? That's what I tell people first. And then get feedback from other people and saying, oh, can you buy from them as well? Will you be able to buy from that person when if they actually come to buy from you? If you're the person selling, if someone is selling and that person is you, will you buy from that person? Have you met things involved? So there are basic things you have to define. How am I being discovered? How are my services? Are they available? And how are they being available? And when they are available, how am I delivering it? How am I going to, like that jewelry shop now? Am I putting, people, do they know what I do clearly and distinctly? Right. And when I want, maybe I'm interested, I've gotten in contact with them. How soon does someone interact with me? You've seen me come into your page to look at something. Sometimes you may have data to check, reach out to me, or I've dropped a message. What is the timeline for you responding? Is there a process for you to respond? If I have an inquiry, is there a phone line that is active and is available? Right? Is that an email that when I send an email to, I respond? Or if it's on social media, if I drop a message, will someone, how long does someone respond to me? That's the journey. That's what thing you need to put in place. And I bought the services. I'll ask you, okay, I'm going to buy it. How am I going to make payments? Is it easy for me to make the payment? After the payment, delivery. How long is it going to be delivered? Is it going to be something I need to pick it up, or you're going to deliver it to me where my location is? How long is it going to take? So you've thought that you put it into your plan intentionally. And once it's been delivered, have you confirmed if I've gotten the goods? Have you checked in with me if I liked it? If I liked it, do I have any feedback? Can I drop the feedback for you? Oh, this thing came not properly packaged. When you get on the feedback from me, okay, what do you do with the feedback? Do you get to change it, or do you get to address it and say, oh, sorry about that? Or do you even get to actually give the customer an incentive? Okay, when next time you buy it, if there was an issue with it, please, we're going to give you a 10% discount. So you have to sit down and say, okay, if I'm the one to be served, how would I want to be served? And then don't do it alone. Research. Who is doing the same thing you're doing? You cannot reinvent the wheel. Other people are doing it. What are your competitors doing? What things are they? What are other businesses doing to drive effectiveness? Don't always say, oh, I'm in health. Health doesn't have anything to do with IT. No, you are serving customers, serving people. That's the first thing first. How do you make them feel? You need to do research in your own way. Some people have retainership, like now, even in CX, okay, how do I have my CX structure? There are people that you can retain to help you put these frameworks in place. You look for help, look for networks. Don't do it alone. Today, life is bad about community. Find out the networks, people that are doing the same thing you're doing. Get information from them, get insight from them. If you need to pay a little token for it, because whatever you're doing is improving and driving your business growth.
Okay. That's very clear. That's very clear. Thank you very much, sir. Let me see if there's any question from. Let's see if there's any. Okay, there's no question from YouTube. Right. Any question in the chats? If you have a question, you can drop it in the chats for the last 5 minutes or 5 minutes we have now to close up. We'll be wrapping up in 5 minutes. Okay. Did you get value? If you got value from this session, please, can you just show that in the chat? Can we understand what you learned from this? I wrote quite a lot of things for my own immediate application from the next session, actually. So it's that important to me. Some things will be implemented in the next session. So this is just amazing. All right, so I think we're good. So thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. I appreciate this, you doing this. I appreciate you doing this. And I thank you. You are the first speaker in the maiden edition.
Wow.
That is magnificent. The first speaker in the maiden. So you are the one opening the door.
Pleasure. Thanks, Uche, for the opportunity. Much appreciated.
Thank you very much. I think I just saw one quick question.
Okay.
Okay, this is from Ada. Ada says, as a business owner or a manager, how do you identify people with the right skills to handle your customers?
So there are basic, today, there are basic things you need to look out for. You have to actually read up. You have to also make sure that there are certain skills you have to look out for. I mean, there are basic social skills, relating with people, personal skills that must be displayed. When you're having conversation with people, their outlook, their understanding. Sometimes you can even use some tests, right, to identify them. I believe it's just about the interactions, how you interact with them, and so don't just ask. When you're having an interview, there's a way someone shows up. There's a way this person is handling things. There's the outlook of the person. When the contents, what the person is saying, give the person a typical case study. Don't just ask normal questions. Ask some scenario-based questions. How would you do this? You throw into the person. Even sometimes you could throw in some very tough questions about the person. And I tell people, when you want people to deal with your customers, it's not enough to do the interviews online. Have a one-on-one interaction with the person. And you must be smart enough to identify the red flags and the good flags, So the green and the red flags, when having the conversation with the person, look at the person's outcome and all that stuff. And then it's not enough. Some people can be trained. Then also, what trainings are you doing? Do the staff have a good experience with the business? That's one of the key things that businesses have actually niched. We want the staff to serve the customer. The customers feel good, but the customers don't feel good themselves to be enough to feel good to making other people feel good. Are you making them feel good? Because if the staff do not feel good, they will not feel good to make other people feel good. And if they don't make your customers feel good, you yourself, you will not feel good. So the right from the onset is make your staff to feel special. Commend them, reward them, talk to them, they're humans like you. Let them know that they're part of the business, that without them, you cannot do it. I'm not saying that but you just let them know that you rate them up, appreciate them, commend them. They've done something wrong, call them and show them, do the root cause with them, go to John and say, this is where this thing happened. This is what you did is, I think you need to do this next time. What are you doing? Let them be committed to making changes, to actually relearning. But don't just keep shouting. Sometimes you go to a shop and see the way that the owners are treating their staff. Some people do not have stopped doing business with you, not because they did not enjoy your service, but it's because of the way you treated your staff. It's the feedback they have gotten from your staff. So your employee experience is very important. It's not enough for you to do the interviews, find out what are the plans for you to train them, what are the plans for you to stay connected, are they fully engaged? Have they bought into this vision? If they have not bought into your vision, you need to work on that. What are your service promises? Do they understand it? Do they understand your business core value? Do they share the same drive, the same passion you have to serve your customers right? Yes, they're not going to own the business, but they are actually facilitating you serving your customers and making money. They have to feel good as well. And research will help you. So read up in your business. There are a lot of researches you can research, watch video. There are too many information out there. Or in this business, what kind of people that need here? What do I need to look out for? Please don't just wait. It's not only this session will not be able to give you every information. I encourage you to research, to read up, to find out, because the information out there, every information that you need today, they're all out there.
Powerful. That employee experience is very key, very key. Happy employees make happy customers. That's just the truth.
Yeah. And that's one thing organizations are not intentional about. You have to be very intentional. The question you should ask yourself is, if my staff was to had the capacity to buy from me, would they buy from me? Would they buy from your company?
Wow. All right. Wow. We would have to wrap up now so that we can let you get to other business you have for the day. Thank you very much once again, sir, for this impactful session. Thank you. Thank you. we've set the ball rolling and started on the right course. We really appreciate your time. We appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everyone, for spending your weekend or your early morning just to listen to us. It means a lot. And I believe that you've learned one or two things, right? And I wish you the very best in your business. It's not about driving the profit alone, but ensure that you make your customers feel good, because when they feel good, right, they're going to do more business with you. And by doing more, you make more. I wish you all the best. Good day.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. To everybody, the next session starts by 12 p.m. So it's flexible so that people can get and still do things they want to do on a Saturday. So it's flexible. Okay, so I know Ubong is on LinkedIn, the same name on LinkedIn. So you can reach out to him on LinkedIn, the same name. Yes, that I know of. So the next session starts by 12. Set your reminders, set your timers. It's on Pick Yourself Up. All right, thank you very much. And have a very good 1 hour plus till the next session. Bye for now.